Hi guys, and welcome back to the Watch Scientist channel, and today I'm very excited to bring you this video, not only because it's been a while since I've filmed a video, but also because I'm talking about Seiko 5 watches. Now this will not be a review type video, but I'll just be discussing why I think you should get a Seiko 5 actually before this summer. So let's get straight into it. I have two Seiko 5 watches now, and I actually bought my first Seiko 5 watch 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, and the reason why I bought the watch is because I wanted something that looks like a Datejust, but obviously not spend anywhere near that amount of money. And so I found this little stunner, and trust me, this is one of the best purchases I've made during my entire collection process. And it's actually one of the watches, although I have watches like the Tudor Pelagos or the Omega Speedmaster, this is one of the watches that gets the most wrist time. Not only are there about 500 different models of the Seiko 5 watch, so there's definitely one for you, but it's also the fact that it is a mid-sized watch. So this one actually has 37 millimeters in diameter. My other Seiko 5 has a diameter of 36 millimeters, and that's kind of the range where you have the Seiko 5 models. And I think mid-sized watches are coming back, which means they're also good for both men and women. I think anyone can pull off a mid-sized watch. For me, the most important thing about watches is their versatility. And that is definitely a factor you have with Seiko 5 watches. Now, movement-wise, I think Seiko 5 watches are one of the best watches you can get for the price. Like for a bit more than $100, you get an automatic movement, and there's not many watches that can give you that at this price point. And you get a Japanese workhorse movement. Now, they referred, I think the name of the movement is a 7S 26C. I think there's also an A and B, which are basically the production years of the movement, but it's pretty much the same movement. And they say it runs between plus 25 to minus 40 seconds a day, but I can assure you that my watches are much more accurate than that. When I wear this for a week, I only have to readjust it to about 1 minute after the end of the week, so that's fairly accurate for a watch at this price point. Plus, with the automatic movement, you also get an open Caseback, which again, that's so cool for a watch at this price point. I think it's also a great beginner's watch because it really gives you the feel of what it's like to own an automatic watch. And if you're not sure about what watch to get as your first automatic, I think this is a great choice because you're not spending a lot of money on it, so you don't have to fear about, you know, scratching it or damaging the watch. You can just wear it and experience the watch, which is exactly what this hobby is about, just like experiencing the watches and enjoy them. And getting onto my other Seiko 5 watch, this is a bit more of a recent purchase. So with this watch, I kind of wanted a Flieger type look, and that's simply because 8 months ago, I really started getting into IWC watches, and the thing that attracted me so much to the IWC watches, especially the Mark 19, is the legibility of the watch and the pilot's hands. I think there's just something about pilot's hands. They look very I don't know, the clear legibility of the dial in contrast with those hands is just amazing to me. And being able to get that type of feeling when I look at this watch, which again I spent around 110 euros for, is just amazing. Again, it's exactly the same movement that I have in the other one. And I have a day date function. Obviously every Seiko 5 also has a day date function, which I forgot to mention earlier, but that again is a very useful day-to-day feature for your watch. Even if this was your only watch, I think it's a great choice. Although it's also a Seiko 5 like the other one that I own, they are completely different, and that's great about them. Again, I have two completely different watches, although they are from the same manufacturer and they're technically from the same from the same model line. But this one, as you can see, has a satin finish to it, whereas the other has a high polish type finish to it. And this is much more toolish, much more of a toolish military type of watch. It's kind of somewhere between a field watch and a pilot's watch, and I absolutely love that about it. Another feature I love about the Seiko 5s in general is it's the little details, like on the date function. So every day of the week except for Saturday and Sunday are in a black font, and then you get the Saturday, which is in this lovely blue color. Honestly, it's amazing, love that. And then Sunday is in red. Both of my watches and Seiko 5s in general, obviously, they have lume, which helps with the legibility. Some have more, some have less, but definitely I noticed that all of them at least have lume on the hands of the watch, which is very useful. And it's honestly not that bad. It's not super long lasting, but when it's there, when you go from a bright room into a darker room, it's there and you can definitely read the time, which is obviously very useful as well. And my last point with the Seiko 5 watches is, given their 18mm lug width, you actually have quite a lot of choice in terms of bracelets and straps, which is good because it's standard lug width. And again, the fact that you haven't spent so much money on the watch itself maybe leaves you with a little bit more budget to play around with straps and bracelets. And again, it adds to that element of versatility, of creativity, of making it your watch, especially because the bracelets on the Seiko 5s are not that great. Obviously, they have to cut corners if you are buying a watch for this price point. And as I said, you get an amazing watch, but not everything can be perfect, and that's definitely the case with the bracelets. So I bought 2 aftermarket straps and bracelets for each of the watches, and I haven't spent more than $20 for each, and I think they look absolutely amazing, each in their own respect. And again, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a watch for the summer and you want a cool summer watch, I would definitely look at Seiko 5s. It's definitely well worth it. Now, I want to know from you if you either already own a Seiko 5, if so, which one exactly, and if not, if you, after this video, if you're considered to buy one. Also, it would mean so much for us if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. It shows us that you enjoyed the video and encourages us to do more. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Ciao.